LUVUYO MDINGI. I'm from Legae Securities. I had the pleasure of working with Simone in 2015 during the Legae Securities ST² Transformation of Skills graduate program. And she pretty much changed my life from that year. And it was obviously very sad to see her leave in 2015, but you could see that she was destined for greatness. So today, seeing her speaking and giving us inspirational speeches made me realize that that's what she's destined to do, and it also gives me hope as a person that I can too be what I want to be. You know, I shouldn't be limited by some of the things in our minds, and that you should just be who you are. You know, and my favorite part was her last line, where she said, "Find who you are and be her on purpose." I mean, that's the one line that I took home, and I'm definitely going to carry it with me wherever I go, and I'm definitely going to do better. I'm going to work better. I'm just going to be me, find me, and be the best me that I can be. So thank you so much, Simone. You're the best. Good luck on your career, and I definitely know I'm going to see you on TV. You're our next Oprah Winfrey.
Just to give a basic overview of what was talked about today by our speaker, Simone. She raised very important points around resonating with yourself as a young woman, primarily because I feel the older generation has done what they could do for us as young people, and we need to understand that they have walked their path. It's time for us to actually get into the positions that they have prepared for us as young women. So I think to gather everything that she has said today, what's important is we need to resonate with ourselves as young women and not define ourselves based on what society says, based on what men think of us, or generally what other women think of us. It's time that we thought more about how we think of ourselves, which is what matters about everything else. So that is the most important thing that I have taken out of this conversation, and most importantly, that in doing so, we need to find a way forward. How do we work towards attaining this as young women, considering that there are injustices, there is inequality, and we cannot pretend like it's not there, but how do we work, how do we craft a way going forward? Yeah, that was just my feel around the talk. I feel so privileged to have seen Simone today, met her, just to understand her thinking, and it is indeed a blessing to have young people who think the way she does, who are not apologetic about who they are and where they are going. So it's so amazing because she's not only qualified, but she's a powerhouse within herself who knows what she wants and who's going for it. So it's such a blessing, honestly, to be here, to meet with her, and to hear what she has to say. It's a beautiful experience. The one thing I would like to say to all women is that, importantly so, do not fight battles that don't facilitate your purpose. As a woman, you need to find a purpose within yourself, and whatever it is that you do when you wake up in the morning, it needs to be towards that purpose. However you define yourself, it needs to be towards that purpose. Remove everything else. Pretend like it's just you in this world as a woman and you are fighting to get to your purpose. So don't fight battles that don't facilitate your purpose. Not at all. That's my message to women this evening.
Hi everyone, it's Lily from STANLIB. So what I took from this event, the whole event, is the fact that as women we can empower one another instead of bringing one another down, right? So to do that, you need to know who you are from the beginning. Because if you don't know who you are, then where are you going? That's knowing who you are is the foundation as for you to find out where you're going in life, you know? Instead of just going around like a headless chicken. and you need to have faith in yourself. I remember yesterday or 2 days back, I Instagrammed having faith in yourself, because me as a woman, I know what my limit is. And for me, I know the people that I need to have behind me, people who are going to support me, right? So as women, we need to support one another. We need to have faith in one another instead of bringing one another down. Know who you are, know where you're going, know your potential. That's just about it. Just know who you are, have faith in yourself, know where you're going, and know your limits. Don't take everything at one go, because in life you can only do so much. And with so much, you cannot swallow an elephant at one go. You need to take an elephant bit by bit, right? So by doing that, through that journey, you get to discover yourself, you get to know yourself and know your worth. Know where you're going, know who you are, because I mean, if you don't know who you are, then where are you going? And if you don't know who you are, you'll be taking things from different people. People will start defining you. So if you know how to define yourself, don't define yourself through what you do, through what other people say, and the things around you. Know yourself from within. Have faith in yourself from within. Know yourself. Know what you deserve.
Hi, my name is MABONA. I work for Legae Securities. It was quite an honor to have Simone tonight. So I did resonate with quite a whole lot of things that she spoke about. First and foremost, I'm not a feminist, so I don't believe that women need to be great alone in the side, as I believe that women and men coexist together. So we need to work together collectively to achieve whatever goals that we each have. So what she said about dropping Women's Month made a whole lot of sense. Okay, in a sense that why is there a need to celebrate us as if now we are this inferior beings that at some point in life, at some other particular month, we have to realize, recognize who we are, of which that brings and paints a different picture to women. So her presence tonight was quite great. She delivered quite a great talk, because from the question that she asked, it made me think, it made me, question a whole lot of things about myself, my life. You know, I've always had a thing to say, I need to go out there, chase opportunities, go get out things. But then from what you said, that it's not a competition. Though we've been taught that we live in a world whereby we're taught that there are limited resources, there's scarcity, and we need to kind of like, how can I put it, position ourselves into trying to fight for those limited resources with our limited needs. That in a way creates fear, limits ourselves. So I think that one of the greatest things that I've learned tonight, that I've always thought that I need to go out there, fight about things, but it's not a competition. I just need to stay on my lane, do me, and not go out there looking for opportunities. I should be an opportunity myself, in the sense that I shouldn't be going out there looking for things to happen. Meanwhile, I can make things happen myself as a woman. And another thing that I took from the talk was when she spoke about knowing oneself. Being a woman is just a title. I'm labeled a woman as the same way I have a name as TETELO, but it's not who I am. Up until I get to a self-actualization of knowing who I am, then it's going to be easy for me then to get to wherever I'm going. But the minute that I'm still trying to identify myself from what people say about me, perceptions, expectations, then I'm not on the right path. So I think having Simone tonight was just a great thing for us as Legae, as she was with us in the past. We're so happy to have her, and all the best to her, and I was quite inspired tonight. You know, as women in the financial industry, it's so difficult. With the guys, it's not easy to network with the guys because they have a different language. They talk about sports, they talk about Chelsea, they talk about different things that we can't relate to. So it's so difficult for us to have conversations and network with the guys. Meanwhile, on the other side with women, you will get that opportunity, like having this type of a gathering, but we are so judgmental to each other. Instead of us talking about relevant things, would be maybe having comments about who was wearing what. You know, we talk about such irrelevant things, and it doesn't become as fruitful as it was ought to be. So, in a sense, I could say what she said about us trying to pull ourselves, rather pulling other women down. It's so true, you know, because with us it's competition. The same way we compete about getting men, the same way we compete about whatever. So even in the financial industry, the same thing is happening. We're always competing about stuff. And whenever we see someone getting to a next step, we somehow think, no, you know, she did one or two to be there, she doesn't deserve to be there. So it made quite a lot of sense, and it made me think, as a woman, what is my contribution to another young lady out there, be it a university student, be it a learner in high school, what is my contribution to them? So it made me think quite a bit to evaluate myself and my contribution in the society as well.
So tonight's Women's Day talk by Simone was excellent. The takeaway for me was don't be defined by society. Empower yourself through your belief in what you can achieve